Hey you guys, Lord Ranjin here back again with Game 2 of EDG versus IG in the Demacia Cup Summer 2015 semi-finals. Saw IG taking a very strong game in the first game. Very solid victory, not heavily contested by IG, controlling the map, controlling objectives. A lot of good play, especially by amazingJ and clearlove, so we'll see whether they can repeat their performance, do the same thing, and come out ahead yet again and go for a possible sweep this game. But they're going to feel a little bit comfortable after a Game 1 victory, most definitely, and feel a little less pressure on their shoulders. You can see by the yawning going on in Invictus gaming, it seems like some other people don't see too much pressure on themselves either. So we see EDG actually banning out Alistar. Don't want no Alistar as the last game we saw, the opposite side being Alistar. Thresh being banned once again, as nobody wants Thresh in the game. Kalista also being banned. So this is the kind of combos that people don't want Kalista playing with. Thresh and Alistar. Nidalee actually being banned here by EDG, respecting KaKAO's Nidalee here, knowing of his abilities to kind of control the map, also knowing that, hey, we're on the opposite side of the map this time. Let's not allow... let's not give KaKAO access to the Nidalee and IG. Meanwhile, taking their time on the last ban, thinking it through, wondering what it is they want to deny, and they actually go for the Azir ban. So we got pretty standard bans, specifically in Kalista and Ryze, and in Azir as well. You often see these champions banned right now as the game is, well, the way the game is right now. So Gragas being picked up as the first pick for clearlove, same. One of his best champions, so I'm playing it last game, so see whether he can make similar plays. We pretty much see Rek'Sai being picked and Gragas being picked, so this does mean that IG is going to have access to Rek'Sai. They don't even have to pick it right away, it's just a question of who wants what, and clearlove, especially in his current form, plays really well with Gragas, so they can definitely... take advantage of that. On the opposite side, Ekko no bans, so he's going to be played. We're going to see who's going to actually pick him up. Mid lane, top lane, and it might be going for Annie as well. So they seem to be going for a sort of a counter engage sort of comp. Ekko really good counter engage champion. Annie also actually, you either use her with the flash Tibber stun to just kill people, or you turn it around, basically wait for the engage, and then make sure Annie's in the back line and flash Tibbers into the opposite side. It's kind of a similar idea of what Braum can do, but while you prefer Annie with the Tibbers ult, it's a question of how they play it. So they're gonna EDG is gonna pick up Maokai yet again, and this time going for Sivir, so going for an even harder engage composition this game than the last game with the Sivir and the Maokai. Sivir ult allows you to engage so much harder than anything else. Like, you just pop that ultimate thrill of the hunt. Maokai is... you can start doing that as soon as Sivir's level 6. You don't have to wait for Maokai's Righteous Glory. He can just run in there, twisted advance, and a person is locked up. It's just like, goodbye, you die. So it's actually a really strong engage comp. Sivir, a very powerful utility carry, arguably the best one in the game, best AD carry in the game right now. So we'll see. On the opposite side, Shen and Lulu, so they're going for a second support. Annie most likely going for the support role, and they still haven't picked a jungler, most likely just saving Rek'Sai for that lost pot, unless they're going for Ekko jungle. Not too sure about that, but it seems like they're going to go Annie in the support slot. Lulu most likely going mid or top. Most likely mid. We see that a lot these days. Might be going top lane as well. So they're going for a lot of utility on that side. It's sort of a lot of disengage, keep people alive for a long period of time. Sorry, I'm being a little silly here. It is going to be Ekko in the jungle because they're missing their AD carry. So Ekko in the jungle, Annie, Shen most likely going top for Z1 tie, and Lulu in the mid lane. So it's just a question of who they're going to pick for AD carry. Was going to be Quirky if they want to go. He's fairly safe. They don't have access to Kalista, so he can be a good choice, especially with Annie in the bot lane. Like, if they can maneuver and create a very easy gank in that situation. On the opposite side, EDG has actually gone for Nautilus and Viktor. So really, really big tanky lineup. A lot of engage in Maokai, in Nautilus, and also really powerful in Gragas. They can engage, they can split up the threats when they try to re-engage. And IG is actually going to go for the Vayne here. So a very powerful sort of protect the Vayne composition makes more sense than, for instance, Corki. But Vayne, sort of a backup to Kalista in a similar sense. You gotta protect your maker, gotta make her grow, and then you have to trust in your ability. Kid is gonna be playing. It's gonna be very important that Kid plays this game. Also, Vayne is a sort of a soft, not a counter, but more like a check to Sivir. I like this term. Like, basically, some people usually when they talk about counters, they talk about counters. You know, hard counter, soft counter, but it's more like a check to Sivir. Sivir. With this comp, you can play in a way that you can actually not allow Sivir to get all her easy last hits, because Vayne can kind of play it around her. She can easily dodge the boomerang shot and get her in the face, back her off. Vayne is so heavy on auto attacks, so the shield isn't her spell shield. Sivir's spell shield isn't that great. Of course, it is going to help against Annie. You're just going to be able to spell shield Annie's stun all the time, unless, of course, Kitties pops his rotation properly. And it's just going to see how they play this bot lane out. Nautilus will be able to help Sivir out fairly well, though. Like, it's a question of who's going to want to engage. Annie's going to want to go on the Sivir and try to catch her off guard without her spell shield engaged fully. Nautilus is not an Alistar, so they can't really easily disengage. He's not a John, it's not an Alistar, so they can't like easily disengage and get people off. But Nautilus provides a lot of damage in the bot lane as well. Not as much burst, but a little bit more sustained / bursty damage. Overall, so you got to be a little bit careful. So this is going to be the start of Game 2 here. EDG with a 1-game lead, and we'll see how IG will respond. Much more tankiness on the EDG side. You got Maokai tanky, clearlove's playing Gragas, who's tanky, Nautilus becomes fairly tanky. Decent amount, very good engage. And you got these big team fight abilities that you can utilize. Well, just basically Maokai and Nautilus, guys like that, they can engage easily. They have point and click engage, which is so powerful, a great way to catch guys like Vayne. Vayne off guard, guys like Ekko off guard, so they can't respond. But of course, Ekko is really good at disengaging. You engage on him. If you don't take him down fully, he's just going to use his ultimate. He's just going to chrono break and get himself in position to actually stun you instead. If a good Ekko player will set himself up to be able to do that. And also, a lot of Ekkos in the jungle actually build tank instead of damage. And that would actually make sense with this game. Shen in the top lane with TP. Yeah, a lot of dancing going on. Shen in the top lane with TP can assist his team at any point needed. He just has to make sure he has this. If he's going to, for instance, ultimate. At level 6, bot lane becomes a bit of a danger, because Shen ultimate is an easy TP. You know, he doesn't even have to give up his TP while still going bot lane to help. He's actually took a minion at red camp and run back to lane. That's interesting. And so far, Gragas and Maokai are actually going to double jungle a little bit to start it off. Shen's going to have some easy farm by himself. No lane swaps, but we do see double jungling. EDG likes this strategy. He did it last game where clearlove and amazingJ actually went around and just farmed. And I think amazingJ really has been a really, pardon the pun, amazing acquisition for EDG. They recently got him from a team in Hong Kong. I will answer this question in 2 seconds. They actually very recently got him from he's from Hong Kong. amazingJ's from Hong Kong. Recently acquired him from Energy Pacemaker just in May. And he's been playing really well. You know, usually they have Doro to help to play this position. He's not playing right now, and amazingJ's actually been doing really well. Has a KDA in Demacia Cup, has actually a KDA of 34, which is really highest KDA amongst his team by far in the tournament. So he's kind of been returning to his MSI form, where he was arguably the best player in the entire tournament. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can accomplish overall as well. At this point, the game is kind of normalized, where Gragas has gone, starting doing his jungle. They basically did the red buff, did the route, And now amazingJ is top lane, also level 3 against this Shen. And clearlove just feeding him some last hits. Ekko on the opposite side also just doing the standard jungle route, almost dying. Ooh, KaKAO, my friend. Ooh, boy. Yeah, okay, almost nice little micro there, but KaKAO almost dying to the Crux there. Being a little greedy, getting himself level 4, but it does mean that he's going to be more powerful. He's going to get back home. We're going to see exactly what as he decides to build this game. Going for Trailblazer, so most likely, easy, Trailblazer easy, but it's a question of whether he's actually going to go the Cinderhulk build that's been so popular and mostly played in the jungle, actually, rather than anything else, because that's what we have been seeing a lot, but that was before the introduction of Runeglaive. So Runeglaive and Cinderhulk, well, I do think Cinderhulk is a decent option on him because it's sort of a weird build. Now here, clearlove, no vision on him. He's just going to go here in the turret. They know that meiko's there. They don't know about clearlove, so now we're going to try to accomplish a gank here. Now question, do Kid and Kitties actually have an idea that, hey, maybe we shouldn't go too hard on this? Clearlove is actually going to back off at this point as Kid and Kitties playing very far back. The wave is pushing hard, of course, with the Sivir. So they're just not going to bother pushing much harder than they already have. No early ganks so far yet in a position to do so. Annie, hey, look, I'm franking Annie. I can stun at any time I want. Of course, Deft will have the spell shield ready at any point that he needs that. So they're going to have to bait it out. Deft pushing this hard. Ooh, nice boomerang shot there. It's a question of whether meiko and clearlove actually want to combine their powers to go and maybe try to get a gank mid as they are up against Lulu. Lulu does have a speed boost. She's going to have her flash. She has her shield, but she doesn't have, she's not a super maneuverable champion. She has no maneuverability abilities like, for example, Ezreal. Actually, similar to Viktor in that respect. Shen taking a bit of an advantage here against, and KaKAO's going to go in. amazingJ might get caught in. Flashes out. Nice by KaKAO, don't think he expected to get him there, but he's gonna say thank you for wasting her flash. He's gonna take that advantage. Shen, no surprise, really, like, against Maokai, he's taking a bit of an advantage. He can harass with his Q. Both of these champions, quite, trying to say something here, are actually quite sustainable. That's why, for instance, Maokai's, a lot of pros actually build Maokai with attack speed reds rather than anything else, because of course if it's passive you get more attacks, and that way you can, nice shot at the ridge lines there, misses his target though, so that's what we get. There's a question though, like, how much damage, like meiko, I don't feel meiko and deft bot lane here want a hard engage. They want to just allow deft to farm because it already has a farm advantage and they're putting on a lot of pressure. So if they go in because of the stun that they're going to get in response, what they want to do is just do some damage, maybe chunk them down, as they've already forced Vayne to pop her potion, and Sivir is ahead because of that, and because of the pressure being put on. So even though Annie has her stun up, Deft knows that meiko will be able to help her, and meiko's always just running around out of vision, in vision, out of vision, in vision, so that also mid lane has to be a little careful. They have to think about where it is that where the Nautilus is running around. Is he going to go mid? Because that's such an important way of playing, because Sivir is constantly pushing the wave. They're putting a lot of pressure bot lane. It allows them to deny information, and it forces Rookie to play just a little bit safer, because then the bot lane says, hey, by the way, Nautilus is missing. And they don't have vision on Nautilus, they don't have vision on clearlove, and EDG is very fond of combining their jungler or top laner and support together for ganks, as we saw in the first game, going in and creating opportunities for kills, shutting people down. In this game, Z1Tai is being allowed a lot more room to maneuver, to get his farm. Last game, he was shut down quite heavily as the Trundle, and already now at level 6, so if Vayne gets in trouble bot lane, Shen is going to be able to help try to turn it around. And that's the thing, that's what EDG, if they go in, they want to go for chunks. Maybe even, if Sivir has ultimate, what they could do, they could go in, do a chunk, take Annie's stun, bait the ultimate from Shen, and run back, disengage before Shen can use his taunt on them, because Shadow Dash is actually an extremely easy taunt to land, despite it being a skill shot. And here bot lane, forcing the flash from Kid. Nice bit of play there by meiko and Deft. This is what I'm talking about, putting on some pressure, being a constant threat. Now Kitties here as well. So to start off, we have top lane. We see that the Shen has a bit of an advantage. Jungler-wise, we see that KaKAO has forced the flash top, but has been mostly farming. And we've seen the same from clearlove. He hasn't really been too active. He's trying to go around the map, trying to create opportunities for himself, but he's not really had an opportunity to gank anything here. Bot lane is where it's happening right now. Nice boomerang there. Gets 2 hits on Kitties. She's a little bit low. She has her stun up. Gonna get the stun up on meiko, but he had his shield up, so he's like, whatever. He just shrugs it off. And I didn't see quite there whether he had his ult yet, whether he was level 6 yet or not, but Nautilus with level 6, if they don't keep it so pushed out, they might actually be fine. Z1Tai actually has gone back, bought himself the starts of Spirit Visage and the starts of Cinderhulk, so he's going to go for Magic Resist. Not too much of a surprise when you think about the fact that everybody on EDG, except for Sivir, does magic damage. Nautilus does magic damage. Viktor does magic damage. clearlove's Gragas does magic damage for the most part, and amazingJ also does magic damage. Meiko getting caught out a little bit, getting a few stunts in the face, but deft not allowing this trade to go for free, chunking both Kitties and Kid quite heavily. Doesn't have a lot of mana, so has to be a little bit careful. Rookie now going around the map, just dewarding, and I'm wondering whether clearlove is actually bought here again. The lane is pushed and pressured, which is what allows clearlove to stay in there. Now that Kid is going to push this wave back, it should equalize, so we'll see whether meiko, deft, and clearlove can accomplish something, trying to get a kill on Kid. Kid very far behind in last hit now, a kill worth of last hit. Does have Bilgewater Cutlass, but against Deft's BF Sword really behind, and clearlove yet again got to back off. That's the one thing, clearlove has not so far been allowed to make the plays. Even though IG doesn't have the vision, they're playing very carefully. In some cases, like bot lane, they're sacrificing a little bit for it. But it seems like whenever somebody's pushing to try to accomplish something, it doesn't quite happen. There is vision. IG does have vision on the fact that Dragon is taking damage. clearlove is soloing it, but there is a ward there. And it's a question, are they actually going to be able to do something about this? Viktor seems to be going bot there to help, and IG... it seems like they're just going to give this up. They're going to rotate top in response and see if they can't dive. amazingJ pushing quite heavily. KaKAO's in position here. amazingJ knows this is coming, knows this is happening, sees nobody's on the map. So they're just going to give up the dragon for free. And seems like they're not going to... are they actually continue to dive? KaKAO thinking of going in. He's going in, doing a little bit of damage, slowing him down, then just going to back off. Just forcing amazingJ back. You see also the bot lane that Sivir has actually chunked the tower really far back, really low. So there's going to be a tower, early first dragon for EDG, and they're going to probably be the first one to take a tower as well. We haven't seen a lot of action mid, as it seems like Viktor and Lulu are just playing quite passively so far. Lulu's actually gone for Chalice of Harmony, just sure the response, going for Unholy Athenes to start the game off, just to, you know, play safer against Viktor so it can take it, and she is going for the utility carry role. Always make sure to have the mana up, always make sure, you know, lower them cooldowns so that she has access to wild growth, she has access to her shield, her slows, and her overall damage. So overall, it does seem in many ways this is going to be a sort of protect the Vayne comp, but Vayne is very far behind in last hit so far compared to Deft. And it is going to be heavily on Kid's shoulders how well this lineup is going to go. It's going to be important how well Rookie, Z1Tai, and KaKAO protect him. A little bit of damage here on all sides. Trades going down as Viktor's controlling his Chaos Storm to push the wave. But Rookie's going to be perfectly fine. Push it back and then just going to be... so top lane, we have a similar situation to what we have bot lane on the opposite side. Shen has been allowed to farm. He can be very safe. Of course, you know, if he kills, the passive on his Vorpal Blade works that way, that if you kill him, if you attack a minion that has Vorpal Blade on him, you get health, but if you actually kill something with Vorpal Blade, you actually get a third of that heal as well, so it can be somewhat easier. Kid now by himself, taking a huge chunk of damage. clearlove and meiko in position to try to see if they can actually dive this, and Mike from behind. KaKAO's now in a pretty bad position. His blue buff is spawning. clearlove and meiko gonna want to steal this from him. They're trying to see if there's a ward. And there's none. KaKAO in bad position. Kitties there as well. Lulu coming in as well. There's got to be a flash. Timber stun. Huge knockup as well. Nice bit of play. clearlove taking them damage. Pawn going down very low. He's going to go back to the back. meiko coming in response. Deft charge on the KaKAO. KaKAO meanwhile going to chrono break back. Who's going to die? Ultimate there from clearlove as well to try to slow people down. amazingJ getting really low. Ekko is going to get the first blood. Now Kid from the opposite side trying to duel Deft. Doesn't have any mana. Spell shielded nothing, but no more than that. EDG grouping up there, but getting hit by all the ultimates and getting controlled out with the knockups from Lulu's Wild Growth, a little bit of everything. The only one that wasn't there was Shen, it seemed. But they're going to take the first blood. They're going to be quite happy about that. After losing the first objective of the game, they're going to at least have a fairly decent response. And now Kid's going to also get a little bit of breathing room to farm freely so he can get his Bork going. Bork on Vayne is actually a significant power spike. She can start chunking people quite well. It's a question whether she wants to start dueling, maybe not. But she can still accomplish a lot. KaKAO playing with the Cinderhulk, so a little bit more old school on that. The question, though, is that they might be playing on the 5.11 patch. So it's a question of whether they actually have access to Runeglaive at this point. But this is a little bit more old school, definitely, with the Cinderhulk. China is overall a little bit behind when it comes to patches. Like, when the rest of the world is playing on patch 5.12, generally you see China playing on patch 5.11. So that is what you should be expecting to see. Overall, that's just the way the game is. That's just the way life is, and you're just going to have to accept it. I'm going to have a sip of water here, excuse me. Yeah, Palm being given a lot of the farm. Palm and Deft are pretty much the big carry threats. Well, where clearlove is sort of the big playmaking threat, he's not the guy that you're going to trust to carry and do the damage. He's the guy you're going to trust to create opportunities for you. Like last game he did with Nunu, this game he does it with Gragas. But that's just the type of player he is. What did he play, Gragas or Nunu last game? I don't even remember anymore. So that's the way it is. But the carries, the damage, the guys that are going to go in there, kill everybody, that's going to be Pawn, and that's going to be Deft. Whatever positions they might play. Shen seems to be TPing bot to see if he can actually make a play from range. Doesn't have his, I think he actually does have his ultimate, it seems, so he's actually going to run around, and go away from top lane. Actually, quite well to do that. Bot lane being taken down by IG, and it seems like in response, Sivir going to go top. Deft going to grab this top tower. Looking at the northern side of the map, you can see how well they're controlled. Like, this is the way clearlove loves to play. This is why he goes on for Sightstone on almost everybody. He has Sightstone on Gragas, right? And that's what allows him to control. Look at all the vision they have. They have full and absolute control of the enemy jungle on the top side. Near the red buff, around Baron, and Baron's actually coming up in a few minutes. There's Dragon now in 30 seconds, so we'll see whether they actually rotate now bottom to get control of that. They don't have as much vision on the bottom side, but they've kind of given it up. They know that they are the ones actually, at the moment, they're the ones pushed in. They're just going to push in top, get some vision going out there. On the opposite side, IG doesn't have nearly as much vision. It seems like there might be some action. KaKAO trying to catch Pawn off guard, but Pawn always ready to go for everything here. And it seems like both teams might be rotating towards Drake as it's almost coming up. EDG is going to want to make sure that IG does not get that Drake. clearlove going for the body slam, misses Kitties there. Kitties has her stun at the ready. Shen has his ultimate, so it seems he's just going to try to keep Maokai out of the fight and stand united in if it happens. And I'm not too sure. Yep, seems like EDG actually pinging the middle tower. They're going to give up the level 1 Drake for the tower. The question is, are they going to go in and actually try to contest this, try to catch him off guard? Seems like EDG is backing off. The Dragon was taken too fast for them to take this tower. And they were no position to actually... That was really good position there by IG. Really good use of Shen. Basically, Shen went bot lane to push in, and what ended up happening is he was going 1v1 against amazingJ. And when Shen... Neither amazingJ nor Shen had teleports, but Shen had Stand United, which is the same as a teleport, so they couldn't fight because even if it was technically a 4v4 versus Drake, right there, it was actually a 5v4, and EDG is not at the point in the game where they actually want to fight 5v4. They're not ahead. They're actually a little bit behind in gold, while Sivir has done a great job farming. On the opposite side, Shen is really strong, has the Spirit Visage, also has the Balmy Cinder, probably now going to go for... probably now actually going to go for Sunfire Cape to start doing some damage around himself. And so far, still only a single kill. Like, a lot of people on IG side actually got the assist goal, split up amongst. But now Vayne is starting to get going a little bit as well. Has that Blade of the Ruined King to start working with alongside Zerka's Greaves. So in a long protracted fight, what you want, like, that's the thing. You got EDG who wants big fights. They have a big engage comp, which means they want to go in, they want to deal the damage, they want to they want to kill you, They want to kill 2 or 3 people within the first 5 to 10 seconds of a fight, and then they want to back off and get the objective because they've won the fight. They can just finish you off because they instantly kill so many of you. It turns from a 5v5 into a 3v5 or a 2v4. And they're instantly ahead and they can just finish up the fight or wait for the rest of the team to back off and go take objectives. On the opposite side, we got IG who wants these longer protracted fights. They want if EDG engages, they want to respond. They want KaKAO, like you saw that early fight near the red side blue buff. That's exactly what happened. The fight went on for much longer than would have wanted. Victor's now going to take finally the mid tower. Was being pushed in very heavily, so no response to that. But that's exactly what went on in that tower. The fight lasted a long time. Like, never mind the fact that EDG actually didn't engage properly, got caught quite a bit out of position, and couldn't respond in time. A lot of them still got out okay. But they did give up the first blood to Ekko, who's now actually gone for Locket, so he's going for that tanky build. He's going for that tanky displacement, I'm annoying build. His ultimate is still going to deal some damage. He doesn't have to use it for damage, but his ultimate is still going to deal damage, but he's just going to be annoying. He's still going to deal a decent amount of damage because of his passive. He's still going to be able to slow. He's still going to be able to stun. He's going to be even more and more tanky and annoying because of the shield from his W. That also stuns, of course. But that's what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is that they want those longer protected fights. They want the fights where Vayne can just stand around, or not stand around, but just jump around, tumble around, and get the DPS on people. Those are the fights they want. That's why they have wild growth for her. That's why they have the stun from Annie. They have the shield from Lulu. They have Shen taunt. And stand united in case they need. They have Ekko. Just everybody. It's taunting, slowing, stunning the rest of the enemy team to prevent EDG from getting to Vayne. Because if a fight happens in such a way that everybody gets to Vayne and she's not allowed to fight at all, EDG is going to have an instant advantage in the fight just because the damage coming from the opposite side is not going to be heavy enough. The damage from Annie's never going to be bursting up because she's a support. The Annie from Lulu is not, she does a good amount of damage over a longer period of fight, but she doesn't have that heavy burst that Viktor brings to she doesn't have that heavier burst. While Viktor does also a decent amount of protected damage, he does actually have a decent chunk of burst as well. But it's just interesting teams, and we'll see how this goes up. All of a sudden, Viktor and Lulu, fairly even. Lulu, of course, with the support gold. Has Athenes and is working on our next item. Whether that's going to be a Ludens or something else remains to be seen. Gragas has gone for also a Cinderhulk, and he's actually seems to be working on a Frozen Heart. Frozen Heart, it seems. Of course, yeah, as I said, mentioned the Sight Stone. clearlove just loves Sight Stones, and honestly, why won't you? Vision wins games. You can see at all times, if you look at the Vision count, EDG always has way more wards. And this is just the kind of player he is. It's just a question of what kind of player you have and how your team responds to this. So when you have a jungler like clearlove who loves warding, who is a controlling jungler, he controls the map, he controls information, you have to play a team around that. IG's KaKAO is not that type of jungler. At the moment, also actually going for Frozen Heart, it seems. Or it has to have that Locket, wants to not take too much damage from other sources as well. And of course, lowering his cooldowns is super strong with Locket. And with Frozen Heart, he's just going to lower his cooldowns to the amount that he can constantly slow, constantly displace, constantly have his shield. Nice taunt from Z1 Tai catching the meiko. TP going to come in from amazingJ. How's it going to happen? Displacement going on. His rookie is way out of position. Deft charge going to go on. And that's going to turn around. Z1 Tai going to get the decent stun off. Getting Deft really low. Rookie's going to keep running. KaKAO in position. Pawn is going to take it down now, but they continue the chase as Z1 Tai actually takes down Deft. And now it's going to be a fight 3v1. Is it 2-3v3? As everything's happening. Nice chrono break from KaKAO. Is it going to be enough? clearlove very tanky. Nice flash ultimate from Kitties as they get 2 more kills. clearlove goes down. Ekko gets a kill on meiko as well. And now it's Pawn by himself. KaKAO barely surviving that. Z1 Tano fairly low. The stun coming off as well on the Pawn. And KaKAO coming in as well, getting the shield off. He's going to force the back off. I'm not sure. Nope. Seems like he's just going to back off on Pawn. Z1 Tai almost getting killed as well. Nice bit of kiting there at the end by Pawn, but nice fight by IG to take 3 people. 3 people from both sides. Both Lulu died there. Got caught. Kid meanwhile just was. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm just gonna take Drake then. Going for a Brutalizer, actually, so a little more old school. You see, like, a lot of players with Vayne actually going... Oh, kid. Okay, Rookie coming in to support. There's no... Yep, okay, he was going to grab it. I was wondering, because there was no actual smite, but you see amazingJ taking so much damage just from a little bit of attack speed. With the Brutalizer, she's going to be able to go for Ghost Blade, so she's gonna go. It's a little bit more of an old school build. You see a lot of people building either Shiv or Phantom Dancer on it. But yeah, now we're gonna see the replay of how that KaKAO gets ready. ZZ1Tai comes in. There's an instant response to TP, but that's prevented. So amazingJ actually doesn't join the fight. Shen used stand denying to help defend the lives. Deft is forced out of the fight very early. Rookie does get taken down, but meanwhile forcing EDG into a pretty bad position. And despite there being a 3v2, KaKAO and ZZ1Tai just managed to utilize all the abilities. KaKAO using his Chrono Shift there defensively. Kitties flashing and getting a Tibber stun. They're just going to help mop up with that as Kitties got into the right position really fast. And you also see how ZZ1Tai and KaKAO actually utilize, despite having really low health, they go in and they play well. So Pawn kites and survives, but IG still with a really good fight. And really nice play overall. Also by KaKAO to actually prevent amazingJ from joining the fight, as having the Maokai would have possibly turned the entire fight around. Because you saw there was just not enough peel. Just not enough peel. Deft got taken down really low, really early. So the heavy DPS got taken down. And Pawn just couldn't deal enough damage fast enough to do anything himself. Speaking of Viktor, he's actually going Alacrity on his Boots of Celerity. So going for that movement speed for exactly what he was trying to do. KaKAO going in. Yeah, just KaKAO, I gotta say, I love the way he plays this Ekko. He plays Ekko as a constant threat. Because he's playing him tank, right? He's not playing standard AP carry mid top lane Ekko, which is very glass cannony, maybe get a Zanya's, but you go in, you're always at threat yourself. But because he's going this heavy tank build, has this in a row, he has 3 kills, so he's actually quite ahead as well. Frozen Heart didn't lock it. It means that he can engage and he can create those risks. People are afraid of you because, like, if he jumps in, he's not going to just die in 2 seconds. He will be able to engage, he will be able to take you down. ZZ1Tai, interestingly enough, never actually upgraded his Bomby Cinder. That is actually quite interesting. Does a lot less damage if it's not a Sunfire Cape. But at the same time, it's actually quite fine. Let's see, KaKAO and Kitties now running around by themselves. They have quite a bit of a CC combo there if they get it off. Deft being given as much... Just at this point, you see that it's Deft and... on EDG's side, it's mostly Pawn and secondarily Deft. Deft and Pawn are the ones that are getting all the resources. The mid laners on the opposite side, it's similar. But it seems like Shen is just managing to catch up a little bit better. With Randuin's Omen, he's just going to be able to follow up his taunts a little better because people are going to be able to run out of his taunt, but they're not just going to instantly run off. Even if they have the flash, they're still going to get slowed. They're still going to be able... a slowed person after a flash is not the same as a non-slowed person after a flash. We all know what it is to flash out of flash after being CC'd to death and then just like, I'm running very slowly. And then you still die. EDG ahead in towers. They got all the base turrets. On the opposite side, its top tower still not taken out. But KaKAO, nice use there by Kitties. KaKAO gonna come in. Deft gonna get to, and he's stunned. There is the Deft Dart to try to save lives, but Shen going in. Now gonna force KaKAO to run off on the opposite side. Rookie's ready, and they give the kill to Kid. That should be a Baron right here. Nice bit of engage there by KaKAO. And he just utilizing the talisman there. Talisman Annie, by the way. Hey, why not? And it makes actually perfect sense for Kitties to play that this way. You see some pros actually starting with Spell Thief, but a harass clearlove going in to try to make a play, but not even getting even close to Baron before getting taken down. Nice game here by IG. As they take the Baron, they're going to go out and push some waves. Lulu's going to run mid and push that wave out there. And the rest of his team is going to go top and push out and grab that tower for equalizing the objectives a little bit. Pawn seems a little angry. at this point. So yeah, Shen gets the bonus tower gold. Vayne at this point, still always 1 kill behind in gold, but now she has 2 kills compared to Sivir's 2 deaths. And Pawn going back to at least clear out some of the waves, so they're forced to. So the IG is forced to go to a minion, to a lane, and clear it out before they can do anything else. So EDG side, sloppy team fighting, getting caught. Sivir being there. Well, yeah, she had Nautilus, but they should have expected with all their vision control. They actually seem to have lost a little bit of their vision control now, and deft just gets caught, and that's exactly what they want to do. A really nice way of using their comp. At this point, we see actually Z1Tai going for a phage. That's fun. I like this. So I'm a fan of this. Pawn actually dewarding. That's what I like about pro players, right? Well, look at EDG. EDG has 4. Ooh, clearlove getting almost caught out. EDG has 4 red trinkets. They have 4 red trinkets. They are so worried about vision that they have 4 red trinkets. Like, they understand, like, a regular trinket is bleh, like there's a reason that we have a sight stone on Gragas, and there's a reason we have a sight stone on Nautilus. There's a bunch of wards that should be enough. Maokai has still just a basic trinket, and I think he actually might have upgraded it as well. So we're going to have access to that, which will be good. IG going to continue taking their advantage. They're going to grab their 3rd Drake, because why not? Yeah, no vision of this on the enemy team. Easy Drake. That's going to be 3-1. Equal in towers, and gold differential is a little over 5k. So EDG have to utilize their comp. They're not being allowed to do so. They have to find an opening. They have to find a spot where amazingJ can actually go in, utilize his righteous glory, lock down Vayne, and not get turned around on like mad. That's the problem here. You need to be able. There's so much IG can do to protect the Vayne. Rampant growth, Shen taunts, anti-Tibber stun, every single damn thing that KaKAO can do with Ekko. And now Rookie can just go around and start pressuring maps, because she actually has a decent amount of push as well. ZZTai going top, and he's just keeping up the pressure. Now that's exactly what they're doing, putting on the pressure game. Vayne being allowed to continue farming. She almost has her Phantom Dancer at this point. Okay, so clearlove actually being forced to smite. Being forced to accidentally seems like he took it from Pawn, but better to take it yourself rather than anything else. Rookie, meanwhile, just, hey, I'm going to go bot. I have, like, Baron buff. Baron buff Juns runs out, but they actually managed to grab the tower, open up the inhibitor, and then he's just going to run out whatever as Pawn goes in there. Light of items on those mid laners. Upgraded Hex Core with actually Void Staff and Rabadons. So Viktor is more of those, like, okay, I'm just going to dodge stuff and just run around real fast rather than going for examples for Zhonya's. Rookie, he has a lot of defensive options, so it makes sense that he goes Rabadons, Ludens, and he has actually Chalice, which is a defensive option, which is a really good choice against this heavy magic damage side of EDG. Now look at that clearlove. He's just going around there farming. Let's look at builds a little bit. So we got Frozen Hearts and Righteous Glory on amazingJ. He seems like he's also going for Randuin, Spirit Visage, perhaps a Banshee's Veil, or yeah, maybe a Banshee's Veil. We shall see him. For the cooldown reduction, might want to go for Spirit Visage. Clearlove, just a Frozen Heart alongside Cinderhulk. So he just needs to make. Has not gotten going because he's not been allowed to make plays, and now they can't make that heavy forward offensive warding that they've done. So they're being forced to ward a lot more defensively. And it's a great job by IG to not just allow people to get caught. Nice engage. They were Z1Tai on amazingJ. He's being forced to switch to advance more defensively than anything else. Popped his ultimate. Kitties coming in as well with a talisman, but amazingJ is just getting a little low. He'll be forced to back off. clearlove in a bad position. Ekko, everybody coming in. He's being chunked down really low. He goes down. Z1Tai actually takes him out. Whom gets caught a little bit there at the end, but will be fine. Now it's going to be Viktor. Anti-Tibber's stun gets him off, pops the talisman. KaKAO going in really heavily. Kid going in from the backline, trying to get the kills. Going to get chunked down very low. Rookie going to take down Pawn as Kid gets a kill on meiko. Now it's only amazingJ as he's going to be fighting 3 people. Ekko using the Chrono Break. amazingJ really tanky, using a little bit of transfer to his advance and defensively. Rookie might be going down here. He does, in fact. He's one tie. KaKAO and Kitties going to continue fighting here as amazingJ gonna get KaKAO as well, but will go down. At least KaKAO managed to get amazingJ managed to get 2 kills in response, but that's still going to be a tower as Kid is alive, and that's going to be an inhibitor. They should just be able to rotate bot and take that as all if they want. It's only clearlove now. He's the one that got caught, so he's in a little bit bad position. They're just going to back off here and go out and see if they can accomplish anything else. Baron is in 130, 312 kill advantage to IG. It's kind of similar to what actually happened last game, only in EDG's favor, in fact. So, okay, playing a decent job of keeping Kid alive, which is actually what you want to do. Now has a Phantom Dancer, and now seems like he's going to be building a defensive item, going for Banshee's Veil. 4th item, defensive item, if you don't count boots. So we will see that fight again, as amazingJ is just the one that's kind of been running around, catching off, and he's going to be forced to go under and defend his tower. Kitty's coming in there from behind as well. It's just going to wait to see what happens. Get the stun on clearlove, just going to rotate her stuff. Clearlove going to get taken down instantly. Pawn and Meiko here in position. Pawn actually gets some damage off, but it's on Z1Tai, who's really tanky, has a lot of magic resist. Going to continue attacking. Huge Tibber stun on Meiko, pops her abilities, Talisman there, so that people can continue running. Z1Tai rotates out. Deft being constantly DPS'd by Kid, and he's just going to be forced out of the fight. Viktor dies because trying to get a little bit of damage off from people like Kid, and then just continuing on as Z1Tai chases down Deft, takes him down, so a lot of the damage has gone away now, and only amazingJ alive. Everybody goes in, the tower gets taken down by Annie there and behind. amazingJ does a good job of actually taking down people as he dies with him, but overall a really good fight by AG. clearlove getting caught the way he did, just way out of position, just kind of snowballed that out because he is an integral part of you know, the tanky, the utility, using his ultimate to make people back off. A little bit dangerous. Shen actually going for, I love the Triforce. I like this Triforce on Shen, I gotta say. He's like, he has two items that are not really built. Like, he has Balmy Cinder, but he hasn't built it into anything. And he has Triforce because, like, you know, I want to do some damage because his Whirlpool Blade is actually on a very low cooldown. So, like, what he can do, he can Shadow Dash to people, Auto Attack with Key Strike. That's even more bonus damage. Then he can Whirlpool Blade, he can Auto Attack, even more damage. clearlove, I'm not exactly sure what that was. As clearlove just, like, going in by himself. This is almost a forfeit there. I'm not even sure if they have to finish the Baron. Backing off a little bit, but 2 deaths already. clearlove going down. KaKAO going in really heavy, getting the stun off on Pawn and amazingJ. Pawn gonna get taken down. Here's KaKAO, Z1Tai, and everybody just catches amazingJ. amazingJ tries to advance the blue buff to actually try to survive. But yeah, meanwhile, Z1Tai and Rookie chase down the Sivir. They're just gonna continue taking down minion waves. Vayne takes down amazingJ, and that's gonna be a surrender by EDG. They know when they've lost, and not even gonna bother saying, okay, guys. Okay, whatever. Let's just, whatever. I'm sorry, that wasn't Pawn that I was talking about earlier. I thought it was Pawn, but I'm silly. So that's going to be 1-for-1. IG picking really well picked. Nice picks by them to kind of react to the heavy engage comp by EDG. But that's the fun put in a series. Teams can react and react and react. So IG kind of assumed, okay, they're going to go for a similar composition, heavy engage. And they did, which kind of ended up biting them. EDG looks a little bit solemn here, but really they just have to get their stuff together, relax. It's only 1-for-1. They just have to sort of get their fire up going and have to be careful in not allowing clearlove to play the way he played there near the end. They were already kind of losing really badly, but allowing clearlove to make these 2 huge mistakes in a row and exactly the same mistake, getting caught out in one first, kind of rotating into his team in a bad position, getting caught out, and the second time going in alone with not enough vision, and then just bam. So that's gonna be it for the second game. 1-1 so far. Let's go on for a second. You know, cool. GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.